First things first, in today's episode, we are going to be doing a Call of Duty 4 maps tier list. Okay, first and foremost, let's talk about Ambush. A good old classic map from back in the day. When you used to play Search and Destroy, you'd spawn over this side and on the opposite side. I haven't been doing that. To be honest, this was a fairly good map. Up here, you'd camp up here with your little M4 wave 3 to watch over. Some people would camp up in that room, but you'd obviously have to keep an eye out and then bang, pop their head off. But if you were lucky enough, you'd see them running across their spawn, or you can hit them with the good old triple frag. Now you used to spam it, one in each lane, and hope for a grenade kill. Or there was the good old hide and seek. Let's hide behind this little bit here. Pitch up. To be honest, there was so many cool little gimmicky spots when it came to this kind of map as well. You used to be able to get into this little, I want to say secret room, but is it? Is it not? But yeah, you used to be able to pitch up, because the bomb site used to be here, and you used to be able to, to be honest, we probably should have set it up for Search and Destroy, really, but yeah. And then you'd watch over. But ideally, I've got to say, this is a fairly decent map. Which comes to lead me to good old Search and Destroy. If you wanted to, you could flank around this way, shoot the enemies coming this way, or hop through the wall, bang, bang. Normally you'd have some shotgun dudes somewhere along here, or you can pitch up in this room. Yet again, sniper location. You used to pitch up and just watch over. You got B site there. Sometimes your teammates would push up this staircase heading through. There was a spot that was so hard to see people. Mate, COD maps were just classic. They were just so sick. Like, you had decent spots, you had decent like maneuvering positions. Up here was always a headache. Like, they'd pitch up, they'd sit at the back here and just watch over with their sniper. Yeah, sometimes you had people camped up down here waiting, and then it'd be like pow pow pow. And then you got the good old fashioned jump over the ledge, head over, plant the bomb. We're not going to plant the bomb. But you used to be able to pitch up behind the bins. Normally we used to throw a grenade at this just so you weren't car bombed. That was a terrible grenade. That was a terrible grenade. And then you got this little secret spot. That was the worst thing, man. Crawling through this used to take 7 centuries, man. But by the time you got through, some dudes pitched up here, ready to bang you in the head. But this spot was pretty decent. And then you had the good old-fashioned, I'm going to climb up the window. Whoop. That's what you... Nah, I definitely think you used to be able to climb this. Or am I tripping? Or maybe I'm tripping, man. Maybe it's this bit here, then. Better go in here. Up in there. Wasn't there a way to access the higher floors as well? Nah, there was a way to get up at the top, and I can't remember how you did it. Is it this way? Yeah, this is the way. There we go. Yet again. To be honest, there were so many different sniping spots. You'd have people at the back here, you'd have people down there. This is a raw spot, but it's so open. Don't even get me started when you used to be able to get up on here. I think that might have been old school mode, being able to get up there, but that was decent. Then you've got... We head up here, and then you just got to jump on this little bit and navigate your way up to the higher floor. Or you could just go. Brings me to one of the most nostalgic... Nah, it's not one of the most nostalgic, but it is up there. Without a doubt. Leading in, like you got sniping over this way. You used to be able to push over this side and then be able to like lock off and pick them off there. Oh, we're getting stuck on that little pillar post thing. And you run through, navigate, bang bang, get the pitched up. Ideally, I don't know. I think overall it definitely was an interesting map. I don't think COD 4 had any bad maps, personally. You know, don't get me wrong. There were times it was frustrating. You used to sit here with your shotgun, wait for them to come through. But, yeah, like, it's just... It's always interesting returning back to, like, classic COD 4 maps and realising how great they actually were. And it's a shame that, like, they remaster Rust, Nuketown, Shipment all the time, but why do they never bring back, like, maps like this? You know? But I remember the days we used to play Sabotage, yeah, and we used to run around the back here, hold it down in the swimming pool area, and would literally just pitch up here. And like back in the day, sabotage, holding the bomb in one specific area used to be one of the most funnest things ever. But yeah. But I think that's pretty much it for this map. I was literally sat here while loading into block, and this was never one of my kind of favourite maps. You used to be able to pick them off from spawn here. You know, if you had iron lungs. I don't think anyone really ran iron lungs. It was more steady aim, or a deep pen. But I think the more I sat here and thought about it, like COD maps when they were classic was so good. They used to be able to pop, pop, pop. Someone would run through here. If you're one of the OGs, knife the watermelon. But yeah. And also switching to your pistols faster than reloading. But dip down here. Normally you'd have everyone bum sniffing the bus or like literally pushing over this B side here. Everyone here would be with an M4 like this, like just watching over the spawn side or over there. Like just trying to get their fucking dinner. The one memory that will always serve me well is hardcore search and destroy. If you are like with a bunch of idiots in your team, there was an occasion where they'd pull out the RPG at the start of the match and RPG your whole team because there was no like prevention of team killing, so you never really got the repercussion of being killed. So playing hardcore was a little bit dangerous, but yeah, you just watch over here, see if anyone was pushing and then take them out. But obviously these kind of maps I am going to revisit, whether I play with bots or not. I'll try to find some search and destroy lobbies, just so you can experience them with playing actual ranked or online matches. But Bog was just, you know, you had people lay down here and just pitch up. But a helicopter on this map was fantastic. But the problem is, the RPG took it out quite bloody quickly. Okay. This map, I honestly, I don't think anyone really cares to remember and bother with it. Don't get me wrong, you used to get the fall to your death, and so I can't remember what the fucking challenge was called. But basically you had to fall a certain height. I wonder if I've got it already. If this wasn't search and destroy, it'd probably be alright, but yeah. You used to have to be careful because most people would snipe over on the other side. On top of the tanker. Is it the tanker? See, I don't remember much of this map. It just wasn't my kind of ideal favourite map to want to play. But similar to Bog, I don't know. It was interesting though when you had to play it, but there wasn't really much going on with it. I suppose you could plant the bomb and then like hit behind it, or hide behind here. Bang, bang, bang. But nothing massively. And that's the tanker I was on about that you can get on top of. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I know you used to be able to climb on top of this as well. So if you really wanted to, you could just pitch up and bang, 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 bang. To be fair, we had a decent amount of maps that covered the grounds of being a sniper. But yeah. Okay, this is easily going to be one of the top tier maps, without a doubt. Cheeky little frag grenade up there. Used to flank around here. Someone would push, take them out there. If you're lucky, sometimes they'll come through that way, or they could be camped up there. We're kind of moving around in the position of like, I feel like I should play with some bots just to be able to get a fair idea, but we'll do that in future episodes. I know I've mentioned it already, but yeah. Man, there's so many different spots you can go. You can make your way up here, plant the bomb there. You can even jump up out here and climb the ladder. Wait, what? I was about to say, I thought they got rid of it. I was like, what? I've got to get on this bloody thingamajig. Oh my. You see, I'm the kind of guy... Oh, my game's crashed. Okay. It's quite ironic that it happens to crash on crash. Right. Wow. Okay, let's try this one more time. So normally you'd run up this way, dash a grenade up there. You can go up this ladder if you really wanted to. If you were like an M4, you could cover this, or a sniper leading down. Sometimes you got to be careful because they might run past. You've got people camping around here to take care of. They could be running down here. There could be one camped at the top there. There's so many different places you have to take into account. You could hold down up here and wait for them to run through. Or you can just go guns blazing, which I used to kind of do and run up. But you'd have to be careful because someone would always be up on top of this bloody car. But yeah. I don't even know if you can still get up there. I feel like they fucking sacked it all off. There used to be a way of... There you go. Yeah. They literally climb up on this, up onto this, and hold their position down here. And you won't even see them, man, because they hid behind the car so well. And then sometimes you'll have someone camping up in that top room where they're covering the whole thing. From down here to watch that side, or even just sniping down here waiting for you to run up. So you got to be extra vigilant and cautious. If you're coming from this side of the spawn and you're running down, you could run through. If you really wanted to, you could camp in the helicopter and just wait for them to pass by. There's so many decent spots. Like, obviously I'm not a big camper, but like in terms of like, especially considering nowadays with like COD and stuff like that, the maps are not the best, especially when we especially when we come to look at Black Ops 6's maps. But yeah, and then you got up here. It's so funny because it reminds me of Nath being up here. Nath used to be up here with the M4A3 all the time. And like back in them days, yeah, used to just kind of, especially with Sudden Destroy. Wow. But yeah. It's actually kind of scary how good the maps were on this game. You know, you used to have people sat at the back here with their M4. I know I've got a shotgun. See, there's so many positions you could either hold up here and just camp that. You could push through and head over to the left side and hold up the building with a sniper. You know, if I moved a bit faster. Run up here. You can come to this room and hold it down. Got full view of obviously where everyone's going to be running from. Normally they push this building where triple frags was kind of useful. But yeah. I wonder if you can still do it. There used to be... Oh, disgusting. I love the fact that all the classic things you used to be able to do is still possible as well. You used to stand here and snipe over. Or you used to watch the bomb. Obviously with this, I'd be like, whoa, okay, BAM! Get the rocket jump going. You know, if you ever played, obviously, classic COD, you know what a rocket jump is. Kind of like the levitation glitch in World at War. Yeah, come over, plant the bomb, and then you can run back, hold down the bus. Normally someone pokes their head through that big-ass crack. But yeah. Come over, dive through here. I say dive, but climb through. But, this bit is the most nostalgic part for this map for me. I think it was more old school mode. You used to be able to get on the washing machine. Don't tell me you can't get on it now. What? No way. Unless getting on the washing machine was only in old school mode. And then you used to be able to... I wonder if you can rocket jump on that. Because I can't remember. I remember in old school mode you used to be able to do it. But I don't know if it was possible in core. Obviously, it's Certain Destroy. You're not exactly going to do it. Okay, never mind. Okay, good old district. Yeah, back in the days, mate, look. Boosting's always been a thing. But it's not so much now. You used to have a B flag here. And you used to have like about 6 or maybe 10 people doing this if you had a ground war lobby. And everyone was on par with it. And everyone would just basically take it in turns capping B. Yeah, look. When we played classic Call of Duty, we did a lot of, you know, somewhat boosting. Especially camo grinding in cage matches. But that's a different story. So you could cover this bit if you really wanted to. Normally people would run that way. Sometimes they'd be pitched up on that side. So all you can do is hop over. There is one particular part of the map I do want to show you all. Which obviously you can kill that enemy. Normally they're pitched up around here. So what we do is bang bang. And then if you needed to, that was just saving grace. Blowing that container up. Oh shit, didn't mean to do that. Or you could like... Sometimes it used to be most frustrating because you'd have someone's pitched up here. And like you're spawned on certain destroyers there. So if someone was running this way, bang, they're dead. They run that way, bang, they're dead. They come through here, a possibility you're dead. But that leads me to this point. I'm pretty sure you used to be able to get on this box. I can't remember how to bloody do it. There we go. And you'd have someone camping here. It's a shame, like, it's weird, like, I'm referencing all the camping spots. It's because I was killed from them most of the time. This location here, yeah, I will never forget. When COD 4 first introduced kill cams, yeah, me and my mate Zach, we were on this map and we were like, oh, let's just test run it. We threw a grenade over and you got to first witness a grenade roll thrown across the map, roll across the floor. So we decided to go with the RPG. And like, it used to be so cool being able to literally fire the RPG and watch the RPG fly through this, like, fly through the map and then hit the enemy. But yeah, before this round ends, there is a good old-fashioned... Oh, shoot. How long? We've got 20 seconds. Go, 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 go. You got this little bit as well. Oh, no, I failed it. See, this is what you get for not playing. Oh, my God. No, I'm going to have to return back to it. Shit! But yeah, you used to be able to jump onto that little ledge and climb up on there and then camp up on the top bit there. It's always weird returning back to other maps, like, considering that, like, this was probably one of the most common Search and Destroy maps you would play, just solely for the fact that sometimes you could be in the greenhouse and cover it with a sniper, if you really wanted to. Just down here, watch the doorway, wait for them to come through. Most of the time they would flank that way, or they'd push through the left side. We'll start with the right side over here. So, obviously you'd have to push the bomb anyway. Sometimes you get people camping in that corner, any corner really. Still a regular, normal thing. You had this bit as well, which you could literally climb over. I think you could... There was a... Yeah, look, you could literally hide here and nobody would notice. And then... All I remember from this map is Juggernaut. Juggernaut and Martyrdom. Like, well, that's enough of video we'll talk about. The perks. But yeah. Yeah, I don't think there was anything, like, massively exploiting about this map. I think it was just, you know, open your eyes and pay attention. Obviously, it was a dark map. You know, people would come here to watch the window just in case they come from the other side. But yeah, I'm just trying to think of what else. Sometimes, I think there's a hole in the floor down here, so you'd be able to shoot an enemy if they came through. But other than that, you'd occasionally have someone wait here, but I suppose you can use the ladder. Not often you'd use it, because you'd literally, by the time you got up the ladder, you were dead. But it was a good vantage spot for, like, sniping. Look, if you like ghillie suits and snipers, this is probably your map, you know. Occasionally you'd have to watch out, someone might be on the turret gun up there, so you'd have to quickly duck behind this car. Sometimes they'd be flanking the left side, because they literally spawn just at the bottom here. You'd push through, try to get a plant. Just got to be cautious, but yeah. Overall, I think they spawned down there anyway. I'd like to think they did. But then again, that might be a different... No, I definitely think they spawned down there on Search and Destroy. Right there. Because people would run across that way. Yeah. You'd have the odd occasion. Someone used to hide here. Wait for them to come up. You got the petrol station at the back. Or the gas station. A lot of people would run down here with the M4A3 to line up to see if they can get anyone running across the bridge. Occasionally people would camp down there. There wasn't really much going for this map. You used to be able to get on top of this. There we go. And then you'd snipe off of it again. Most maps were designed for snipers, and it's kind of nice because I think that's why everyone loved the M4A3 so much, because every map kind of benefited it. But yeah, and then you've got a little plant site, head through here, pitch up behind the sofa, wait it out. You used to have the little attic as well, up here. If you really wanted to, you could just be like, you know what. So you got the barn at the back. Here used to be chaos, man. Everyone used to be up here for Search and Destroy. Everyone. And you just better jump onto there, hop over the wall. If you didn't, you could... Never mind. I thought you'd be able to climb on that, but apparently not. You got this. This map used to be used for Michael Myers. Like, if you never played Michael Myers when you were in the Call of Duty era, Basically, it's hide and seek, and the last person alive is able to kill the person who's Michael Myers. But yeah, you have to find some decent hiding spots, and then run. Run! But that's pretty much overgrown. Hello? One of the most hilarious Search and Destroy maps there was, man. Like, whether it was Search and Destroy, whether it was Domination, whether it was anything. Like, I remember the days my mate used to have an M4 carbine with an ACOG sight, 4 o'clock in the morning. We'll head to the location because it's kind of reminiscent of the story. I remember 4 o'clock in the morning, we were up. It was after school, we'd shoot this dude down here. My mate's up here on this little ledge here with his fucking M4 ACOG, and I'm like, what the fuck has he got on his gun? But weirdly enough, it worked. I got to admit, this map's probably one of, if not, it's got to be one of the top maps. You know, probably A tier personally, if anything. But I want to go and test something before we carry on. I want to go see if you can still get in the pipes. I don't know if it's still going to be possible, but back in the year 2007, it used to be everyone's favourite spot. I don't know. No, it's down this way, isn't it? Yeah. No? Nope, definitely not. Bloody hell. Even I'm getting lost down here. It's like playing Resident Evil all over again. Okay. What the fuck? Where's the pipes? They
Time is running out.
There's... That's them. Did it always have a red background? It used to be grey. I don't even know if it's going to let me. But yeah, you used to be able to do this and get inside the pipes, but... Unless they got rid of it. Ah, maybe they got rid of it. That sucks, man. Or I'm doing it completely wrong, but yeah, I swear that fucking red background never used to be there for it. Oh, that's annoying. Dread. Okay, if you don't know this map, then you have been living under a rock for the last 15 years. Like, I ain't even joking. Like, everybody knows this map. They've remastered it numerous times. There's not really much to go over with this, but yeah. It's pretty much it. You know, it's shipment. Occasionally, you'll have people spawning there. Same as thing as always. People can't be on this. Personally, I like the classic vibe to it. Obviously, everything that we get for shipment now is just kind of fucking overhauled with random shit. But it's pretty standard. I'm pretty sure if you're playing on old school mode, you used to be able to get up here on top of the containers as well, where now you can kind of just mantle them anyway, so it's like a normal thing. But back then it wasn't. But yeah. Good old showdown. I don't think I was a big fan of this map, but normally you'd have people run across you for a little frag. Shoot through the middle. Could flank this way, but you've got to be a little cautious because they've got the higher ground. So preferably, most of the time, nobody really runs this way because it just leads on themselves. But you could head up this way, prepared for when they cross the bridge. And if they haven't crossed the bridge, then obviously you can push up and obviously ba-ba-bang, ba-ba-bang. But ideally, I don't know. It was a good map for Search and Destroy. Maybe at a push. But it's no way on level to some of my other favourite maps. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You got the odd occasion on here. Run across. I ain't gonna lie, I thought I was gonna miss it then. Jump across and then run through here and just hold down here if you really wanted to. But it's just nice little certain vantage spots that were decent. It's just it's weird that they just remaster the same maps over and over and over when they could literally just bring back some of these ones. You know, I'm hoping for the next Modern Warfare series we get some of COD 4 maps return. block, pipeline. I don't know. Give me anything. Give me my boy Crash. Nah, Crash got remastered already. I don't want it. I do believe that these maps we recently covered in the past before. But yeah, this is one of the most nostalgic game battles maps. Like, I think this came up quite a lot when it comes to game battles. You got this little hiding spot here if you wanted to pitch up and hold down the bomb. You can obviously watch over if you've got the sniper to see if they come around that way. You can head up to this top room. Pop a claymore down. Depends what the restrictions were for game battles. You can either go to the right room. Oh my god, can't even get through the door. And just aim down here just in case they run that way. Sometimes you get a little noob tube going on. Bosh. And just kill them that way. Top window I spoke about the other day as well. That was a good spot to pitch up in with a sniper or even any gun really. Their spawn point was up there. But overall, it's weird though because like you both had to move. Like with obviously the current maps of Call of Duty, you get to the bomb site quite quickly on a defending side where they're quite a distance out, forcing you to have to kind of decide on where you want to position yourself, where you want to hold down the bombs. You want to pitch up here. Hold the bomb itself. Keep an eye out. It's interesting. This is the thing I love about Search and Destroy is anything can happen with Search and Destroy. There's no like ins and outs, like, you know, it's not the same repetitive thing. But yeah. Weirdly, I know this was one of people's like kind of favourite maps. I just didn't like. I don't know why. I just didn't like it. You used to be able to shoot down there for Search and Destroy. Come around here. You could obviously hold down, wait for them to run through if they did. Normally they'll be pitched up down here beyond the barrel and whatnot. Sometimes you had some camper randomly sat back here, waiting for someone to pass through. You got the odd occasion where you used to be able to shoot, obviously, from spawn to get the car bomb kill. But it's an interesting, because there's so much going on with it. For a simple map anyway. You know, you'd have some people laying down there. I think this is the thing with Search and Destroy. Like, anyone can be anywhere. You know, you got one life. So, yeah. Other than that, you can go outside. You can run across this bit. You can run through. The only thing is, it kind of reminds me of one of the last Call of Duty missions where you're down in Countdown. Like the little silo pod area. And they're all, everywhere you run, you have to look both ways because there could be enemies at any time. So, yeah. This is another map that got kind of used for game battles quite a lot as well. But it's okay. Not my favourite. Last but not least, we have the classic wet work. This map, I can't say I hated it. I just, you know, it was up there. I'd probably say it's about a 6. It was triple frag city. Every time you come on this map, triple frags were living rent free. You know, occasionally you'd have someone poke their head around there. You'd plant the bomb. Someone would be camped on this corner, or even down there. You got some guys sniping at the top window. But yeah, you've got to be kind of vigilant again with where you position yourself and where they're likely to be. I think the idea of the map's cool. It's just my experience with it with triple frag every single match was it wasn't great, you know. Even like Modern Warfare 2 as well. Like, I'd be hit with Predator missiles every single time. And I'm like, man, give me a break. But, you know, you can even just sit up here and cover B-bomb. Most of the time, everyone planted at A, but you never know, you might get the odd occasion where someone pushed on at B. Diving in to Call of Duty 4, the map tier list. I'm not going to include the DLC in this. They're not F-rated. I just don't think that they're the most profitable ones to benefit off of. I want to keep this as original and classic as we can. So we get rid of Winter Crash, get rid of Kill House, get rid of Chinatown, get rid of Broadcast. Creek. Okay, cool. But in terms of a Search and Destroy player, I think a lot of the maps benefit. They all have their perks in terms of if you're a sniper player, if you're a fast-paced shooter like Vacant. But we're basically going to work through it. S tier being a god map that should potentially be remastered. If not, it already has. I would like to see these brought back in Modern Warfare 4 if that does release next year. We've got Black Ops 7 coming out this year. I know it's getting a lot of stick, but this I've been saying for years. I grew up playing COD 4 in 2007, and I've been saying for years I wanted to get serious with the content on this channel, which I am doing. Ideally, by the end of the year, it should be at 1,000 subs. Subs don't matter, but it's just building the audience around Call of Duty. I'm going to be doing it consistently. Anyway, Backlot, I gotta say, man, it's a god map, personally. Yeah, it's got to be up there for, like, Search and Destroy. Just any map in general was quite decent, you know. I'd probably say Ambush. It's not bad. I'd say, I don't know, actually. It is so difficult because I don't want to say 5 maps are god tier, because there are maps that I really enjoy and there's also maps that I think are absolute dog shit. But we'll work with what we got. We'll make adjustments if we need to towards the end. So we've got obviously block next. Like in terms of memories, which you'll see obviously after we've done the tier list. I'll talk about obviously individual maps and the memories of them. Okay, so we have block. I probably would say probably B tier, maybe. It's good, but would I say it's great? So let's say this is God. This is great. This is okay. Do not remaster. Okay. So this is God / remaster. Okay. Cool. I don't know why it does that. It's weird. It's kind of... Oh, there we go. God remaster. Alright, sweet. Okay. So we then have Countdown. I would probably put it as it's an okay map. Like, I'm not fussed if it gets remastered, but it's similar to like a lot of the Modern Warfare 2 maps, like Derail. It's good, but it's not good. It's not the kind of map you really want to be sat playing. Crash definitely got to 100%. But the problem is, we already have numerous remasters of Crash, and I don't want it remastered again. We've got ourselves Downpour. I'll probably say that's okay. Overgrown. You know what? I don't know if they actually ever did remaster Overgrown, but I think Overgrown could be top tier. You know, for Search and Destroy, snipers, Mike Myers, there's a lot I'll get into. Bog. I don't like this map, but I'm not saying it should not be remastered. It's okay. Not my ideal kind of thing. Showdown. I don't think any maps are like massively at a point where they do not get remastered. Well, actually, Shipment can... I don't want Shipment to be remastered. I do think it's an okay map, but I'm bored of fucking seeing it, personally. Then we have ourselves... I want to make myself bigger because you clearly can't see me. The lighting in here is absolute horseshit during the day. We have Crossfire. I like this map. I'd probably say it's on the same level as Ambush. We then have District. I think Strike's definitely up in the great maps. District's somewhat okay. Then we have Vacant and Pipeline. Pipeline... The thing is, with Pipeline and like even with Wet Work was triple frag spam. It really was. And I'm not saying I wouldn't mind it being remastered. I think it already was prior in the past. But, yeah. Okay. So we have ourselves Pipeline, which I think is... I'd say it's a great map. There's certain things. Like, I think Block could get away with being in the great category, personally. But if we'll try and even it out between all the maps, so that way it's not like every single map's great. Although COD 4 released some of the best maps we've ever had, you know, alongside Modern Warfare 2. But, you know, apart from the odd ones. Vacant, everybody loved Vacant. I wasn't a big fan. I'm not saying it wouldn't be too bad to have it remastered, though, but Wet Work's okay. So if we're going to categorize this down, yeah, we've got our 3. We probably could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Okay, so roughly we'll try and see what we can work with. I think Downpour would be do not remaster. Bog, nah, I'd prefer Bog over Countdown. Countdown could be do not remaster. Showdown, I don't want it. Wet Work I can tolerate. We've already had it remastered, but I probably wouldn't mind it being again. District. It's questionable. If I had to pick one of these to be top, I probably would say Strike. Yeah. Not Strike, Crossfire. I always get Strike and Crossfire mixed up. Crossfire. So the top 4 I would have would be Backlot, Crash, Overgrown, and Crossfire. In the second tier, we have ourselves Ambush, Strike, Pipeline, and Block. Okay maps, we have Overgrown, the Bog, District, Wet Work, and Vacant. Then Do Not Remaster, Downpour, Shipment. Obviously, this is just kind of what it is. Showdown, and then Countdown. I think that's an ideal tier list. If you were to split it evenly. If you wanted me to implement the DLC, like, I would say Broadcast is probably one of my all-time favourite DLC maps. Chinatown was somewhat okay. Freak. Yeah, don't remaster it. Kill House. I can't give a shit about that. And then Crash, Winter. It just... I wouldn't even put it in the high category the way Crash is. I think Crash Winter is... I think it's because it's a remaster. It's a redone version of, obviously, one of the favourite maps of playing COD 4. But ideally, that's what the tier list would look like.